What's your thoughts on the sheet? It's too tall for me. Once it gets past 6 inches, it's too long. Yeah.
Switch it up.
Mattel always kills it with their packaging. Their packaging is always amazing. So that's another thing I'm like, is this the end of the line?
Hello? Okay, welcome to the Mattel Power Panel, everybody. Just to let you guys know, the front row is for Power Pass holders. If Power Pass holders come in and you are sitting in the front row and you do not have a Power Pass, you will have to move for those individuals. Also, you are welcome to take pictures or film if you like. Just make sure that the roads are clear for people to walk through. And we'll reserve some time at the end for Q&A. So without further ado, sitting beside me here are Darren and Garrett Sander. They are both employees at Mattel, and why don't you tell us a little bit about what your responsibilities are at Mattel and what your involvement was in this wonderful She-Ra exclusive that we're going to be getting at San Diego Comic-Con.
Hi, my name is Garrett Sander. I'm a staff designer at Mattel. I work most recently on Monster High, and I'm the designer for the She-Ra exclusive.
I'm Darren Sander. I am a product designer in packaging, and I got to do the fun package for this item.
I know you guys have a presentation here that you're going to be showing to us, so
Yes.
take it away.
Okay, cool.
So we're going to go real quick just through the She-Ra stuff.
Have you guys seen these pictures before?
Oh, nothing's up there. Is the gentleman who does the AV here coming to help us out? Thanks, you rock.
So while we restart, I'll just talk a little bit about the doll and where it came from, and we'll skip through those photos so you guys see them all. Feel free to also come by. We're over in the booth. We have production samples on display, so we're all done. You can play with her, pose her, take photos with her. We want to show her off to you guys. About a year ago, the Masters of the Universe team asked us, hey, we'd like to do some type of She-Ra item. Would you guys be willing to work on it for us? And we're like, of course we will. We love Masters of the Universe and She-Ra. We're fans from when we were kids. So they basically, the only thing that they told us when they asked the approach was, make the She-Ra you've always dreamed of owning. So that's what I did. So we were really inspired sort of by an affordable Hot Toys, if you will. We wanted a 12-inch figure that would have the articulation, you could be able to change the outfits and have the detail that we know collectors want, because it really was designed with the collector in mind. Go file with you. Slideshow. Close enough. So, there we go. So it's all her door outfit. And then we did outfit based on the original doll too. And just so you guys know, I mean, being a fan and having gone to Comic-Con, we made sure that we put some stuff in here that would be able to be different, should we be able to continue the line, because if this doll does well, we're going to push our hardest to continue so we can do additional Princess Powers characters, and hopefully Masters of the Universe characters too. Yeah. We have an all-new mini comic that she comes with that the artist Kelly Riley worked on. She does a lot of our art for Monster High, and we love working with her. And she had a blast, as you can see, doing this. We asked her to go, make sure if it's a small comic book, so don't worry about detail. And she always goes above and beyond, and each frame is a work of art. So it's the retelling of the Secret of the Sword story.
And we have it blown up at the booth if you want to see.
And some of her original sketches for the layouts too, which are beautiful. So this is everything she comes with. So she comes with her Filmation outfit, her Adora outfit, her shield, her sword shield, which we know is awesome from the show, her doll-inspired outfit, mini comic, and her She-Ra Princess of Power doll stand. So all of this is included for her with her package, and she'll be $75 at the con. Just so you guys know, this is the information that we have currently. So pre-orders will require you to be an SDC attendee, like typical, but you can pick them up at the specified location where those purchases can be made. If you are a subscriber to the Classics line, you will have early access to purchase them. Please note that She-Ra will only be available at the Super 7 store outside of the convention, so you do not need a SDC badge to buy her. You just need to be in San Diego at the Super 7 store outside the convention to be able to purchase her. If there are leftovers, they will be for sale on Mighty Collector afterwards during the after sale that they typically do.
So now we get into the fun part. As we were doing research on She-Ra, we asked our archives team to pull everything that was related to She-Ra and or Princess of Power that we had in our archive, and here's some of the stuff we found. So if you've been by the booth, you saw that we found the prototypes for the Star Sisters, which is a pretty awesome find. These are just 3 of them. There were multiples of each one. These are the ones in the best condition. They have been in boxes for 30 years. But what was pretty cool is Mattel didn't even know we still had these.
It was an engineer's box who had received samples from Asia for them to review, and he just happened to package them up and stick them back in a box, and we opened it up, and there they were. So it's pretty awesome. The condition is surprising for 30 years, and to open it up, we were both like, you know, it's like a holy grail moment that you're like touching these models and getting to hold them. So.
We also found package proofs for the Star Sisters. So here's the black and white one that they would have made all their comments on to send to Hong Kong to do adjustments to. So this is for Jewel Star. This is the package artwork for Glory Bird. So you can see that he was going to have the crystal theme all around, and then his package artwork on the back, the photography.
And just so you guys know, we're going to put together a PDF of all this art too and give it to Val to post to emeta.org so everyone will be able to see these without watermarks. Everyone can see this.
What we can't see is the Star Sisters name is actually a gold foil stamp. This is the insert that would have been behind Glory Bird in the production package. And then this is just the blank artwork for the package of Glory Bird. And then we found the Star Sisters packaging, which was pretty freaking exciting. Obviously there's new artwork on the back for each of them. It talks about what their feature was with photography of the actual dolls, and then has that really cool gem insert for them to stand in front of. And then you get Tall Star.
We'll leave it up a second so you guys take pictures. And then we have
Jewel Star. And then what was really cool is, this is just a photo of it on the next page, but it's the actual painting of the background for the package artwork. So we found that in the archives as well, which is pretty cool.
It just slid between some packaging stuff. You pulled it out and it's like an actual painting that you're finding, so it's pretty awesome.
And then we stumbled upon some drawings for perhaps a never-made playset.
Yeah, so this is a chair that we found. We found like a vanity and a little treasure chest. And then there's a schematic for something, that how to put it together. It's like a staircase. It's a very rough drawing of how it might go together. Then some external art for our left view and right view of what the front of it looks like. A back view. Some additional technical call-outs of what sizes would be, what shapes things need to be. more pieces that go inside of it, calling out for art and things like that. And we found pictures of the Whispering Woods playset. Yeah. So there was a Whispering Woods playset planned. It went to model build, and they
This is the first prototype. We may have pictures of another one. So this is the first one they built. It was meant to be, you speak into the pink girl, you talk into her, and then your voice would come through the playset, and there was actually a head of the oracle, or they called it Light Hope actually on the stuff. So you would speak as Light Hope to all of She-Ra and her friends.
So this is the back view, where the white is where the face is, and there's a light that would, as you talked, it would flash, so it would be your voice coming through as Light Hope.
So you're saying you can still release it?
We have pictures, there's no tools or anything left. We have pictures of stuff.
So this is just detailed shots of the microphone that you would speak into.
This is the place that's open with no accessories. So you can see there's like a little curtain and a place to get ready. The stuff underneath the staircase was like a waterfall that was done with fabric.
We have the packaging strategy, which gave the product description for the Whispering Woods. So it was going to be $39.95, the trademark cleared. So Whispering Woods is the magnificent deluxe playset for 1987. It is the home of Light Hope, keeper of all truths. It's molded in lavender and pink to resemble a fantasy wooded thicket from outside. Its panels open to grow many unique features. Status-like microphone reverberates when spoken into Light Hope, lights up and pulsates to reveal her beautiful face. They called it a hurry when it was a man in the show. Sweeping staircase that dolls can pose upon. Fantasy furniture with many small accessories, which included a throne, a birdcage, a treasure chest, goblets, potion vials. There are labels with fantasy stickers, the Light Hope dome, a rocking bed with plush mattress, a potion table, and a secret message table with book.
And this is the outside view of it, so the back and sides. I mean, the sculpting is beautiful on it. We're like, wow, this is amazing. I want this.
It was meant to be more deluxe than Crystal Castle. And then, I know it's really hard to see, it's all we could find. This is the same place that was the furniture placed in it.
These are Polaroids.
Yeah.
We just scanned in the Polaroids, and back then, you know, it was like quick pictures you're just trying to take for reference and stuff, so a lot of them are blurry, but we wanted to show you guys everything that we found, so. They did some without the flash, I think.
And then what you see here is the next model. So after going through some cost reductions, they have redone it so that you no longer spoke into it and it spoke for you, it would just light up and flash. So you can see it opening, obviously the girl sort of went away and it turned into more of a swan stand, and the staircase became shorter, sort of simplifying things for production. Because at one point they decided to bring the price down, so it was going to have to be less expensive, so they had to find ways to make it for cheaper.
Yeah, we went through a lot of memos because they didn't have email back then. So it was just reading through memo after memo after memo of what was changing, making sure we're lining up the years, we understood what changes were happening. But here you can see it's more put together with a little bit better color.
That might be the last one. So some of the other stuff we found, there weren't photos for, but there were descriptions of, so.
We wanted to walk you through at least what that is, because we found characters no one's ever heard of before, which looks like they got models built, so we're still looking for those, so hopefully, you know, soon we'll be able to show you guys what those look like.
So this was for the 1987 line, so with Bubble Power She-Ra and Kesha for that year, there was also supposed to be a revised bow. At some point he was dropped, but he's mentioned on a lot of the schedules that we have. Then you get Aneta, who is the stand-in name for Natasa. And then there was also a deluxe with wind. Part of the wave 2 was going to be a Mythicon dragon, which no idea what that's supposed to look like, but it's mentioned a few times.
It's on the line list as it was continuing through the normal standard process, so we're hoping we'll find pictures or drawings of what this Mythicon dragon looks like.
There is a character named Aura, who we're not sure who she's supposed to be. There's no physical description of what she's supposed to be. She was dropped early on in the schedule, so we're still trying to see if there's early designs of her, because at some point you have to pass it on to the development team. There is also Spydra, who was going to be like Web Store, so she would have the same feature where she would drop from the web, and her fashion would have extra legs on it, so it looked like they were moving. And she was going to be done in black and reds.
Yeah, she just started to get black and reds. And then one of the things that we got to show you as we're reading through, they actually in order to get ideas of what features girls would like, they would show them the Masters of the Universe catalog and be like, okay, this character does this, and this and this, and they go through all the characters and their features, and they find out which ones they like the best. And girls like, I think there was a comment like, girls thought Grizzler was cute and furry, you know, so they knew they needed like a fuzzy character, and they thought Webster's, you know, him retracting up was really cool, so they could take those and sort of twist it to have that girl version of it. So it was really interesting that they just took directly from Masters of the Universe to see which one they liked the best for She-Ra.
There was also a character named Joya, who, if you guys are familiar with the Bubble Maiden, that was her. She was initially designed as a new character that would have a bubble feature, and they were working on a more deluxe feature for She-Ra, but were having trouble getting it cost, and I found a memo that says, Joya will be dropped, we need to keep that feature moving so that we can use it for She-Ra. So she did exist. Joya was an actual character, so that isn't actual illustration in the bubble carriers that some of you have seen online. That is an actual new character.
What is it, Joya?
Joya, yes.
Joya.
Sure. And the bubble carriage was actually called Effervescent. It had a name before it became the bubble carriage. What else did we find? Yeah, so what date is this? There was no date, but there was a outgoing telex, which I don't even know what that is.
1686.
Yeah, is when they decided that Joya would be dropped, but we need to move forward with the bubble solution to make sure it would work for the feature She-Ra. So then we found some initial brainstorm notes where they were talking about different toys that they could make. At one time they were thinking of making a Bright Moon playset. It didn't get past the brainstorm stage, but they did list out what they would do and like how it was Angela and Glimmer's home. They were going to have it glow in the dark and have it be composed of translucent material, and then would pivot to expose different images in the playset. I'm just reading what their description was.
And again, when we post all this, you guys can sort of read through all of it too. It's very interesting to read through all the descriptions and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. We had fun just sitting there reading, you know, through all of this stuff.
So after the initial 85 line, the first line, they were actually going to do a whole snow theme for the second one, and it was going to focus on Frosta, and they were going to make Castle Chill. At some point, obviously that was completely dropped, but they had a whole line of new characters. So there was Mirna, who I think actually ended up evolving into Mermista, because she was a girl who transformed into a mermaid. You had Amber, the evil lady. She glows with heat and tries to melt Castle Snow. There was the Snow Queen, who was the queen of Castle Snow, but was not related to Frosta. There's Terra, who's the beauty of the earth. She's scented like a flower and can make things grow. She later became Perfuma. There's Crystalla, who is the sister of Frosta. She's composed of translucent ice and become transparent to spy on the enemies. There was the Snow King, who reigns with the Snow Queen. He's a handsome man with fur boots that lace up to the knees. There's going to be She-Ra. She's new. She's going to have a new fashion arm mechanism, sheer cape, and reversible outfit that had fur on it, so that she was winter themed. And Kasha was going to get a winter themed outfit as well. There are going to be 3 new horses that were transparent. A horse for Crystalla, Frosta's sister, the Snow Queen, and the Snow King. And then a snow cat for Kasha, as well as a crystal sled, which was going to be pulled by a polar bear or a husky. And then they talked about these crystalettes, which they said are just cute, mischievous characters. I think they were meant to be like the Twiggets. And then another playset idea was Volcanica. So it's the volcanic pools and waterfall environment next to the Talon Mountains at the edge of the Fright Zone. It was meant to be a beautiful falls and pool with water play involved, so if you think of the Crystal Falls. It was a jeweled door, turns to break the waterfall and become the secret passageway to the inside. The waterfall turns into falls of red lava by the deliberate intentions of Volcana and her evil powers. Inside this environment exists underground caves which are lined with jewels and crystals. The set equals water play. It will be proposed as a major and mid-price playset. And then it ties closely to the show by tying back to the Talon and the Fright Zone. So the figures that they're going to do in line with Volcana, who's the fire goddess. She has X-ray vision and flame red hair. Her arms are sculpted with flames. Her cape is composed of flames that rise upward and give her control over the volcano. She doesn't start fires, that's clear. And then Marina, the model maiden, who's a mermaid, came back again. I think this was when they were going to do oppositions, either snow or fire. There was Terra, who's the beauty of the earth, she just had, she can make vines grow, and there's another character named Jasmine who had scent. They have notes to combine, and that's, I think, where Perfuma was born. They have Ariel, beauty of the winds, who controls the sky and weather. Her costume of soft sheer fabric designed like the clouds and wind. There was Lavore, the good-looking lava man. A villain,
Make sure those men are good looking, right?
a villain who has power to lift large lava rocks.
Well, what about his boots?
No mention of his boots, I don't think we're wearing them.
But by turning a mechanism on the chest, a lava shield appears to deflect those arrows. And then Amber, who is Volcana's twin sister on the side of good, made another appearance. So instead of being evil, she's good in this one. And then they're going to do, like the snow one, they have the Rocklets, which are mischievous rock people. Their vehicles were going to be Breeze, an imaginary whimsical vehicle who transforms from water to land and holds one figure. Somewhat like a seahorse, he is on the side of good but can be controlled by wicked powers of Catch and Volcana. And then a whimsical dragon, which carries several figures. Not frightening for girls, it could be a mid-price point. So we found that actually, initially there were 4 star sisters. So there was going to be Tall Star, whose original name was Telescopa. She, I'm sorry, Telescopa is actually the 4th one. She was supposed to shrink. I think they realized that it was kind of an impossibility to do. So she got dropped at some point.
From the descriptions, it sounds like none of those cups in the 80s that would like, you could just collapse down. It's not like she's gonna do that. But I think it just became too difficult for her size to be able to get her to condense down.
So, and then Starlight was originally called Electra. And Jewel Star was Splendora. And then Tall Star was Expandra. And then Glory Bird started out as Adventure Animal.
I like that name better.
Adventure Animal. And then we found that everything's handwritten line lists that show like Spider got really far along, and she was mentioned that she's been shown at Toy Fairs, much like it was mentioned at the Whispering Woods place that was shown at Toy Fairs and shown to girls too. So we know there's pictures somewhere because they did photograph all the Toy Fairs. So we're currently getting all of those Toy Fairs that were videotaped digitized, so that way we can watch through and see if we can find any pictures of this stuff. So hopefully we'll have better images. I mean, hoping that maybe we find the models at some point, but unfortunately, the archives, a lot of it is like, it's just like design. So there's no notification of what's inside of it, so it takes a long time to get through. Because this is just us typing in She-Ra and Princess of Power and having stuff delivered to us and going through everything that we can find. But I mean, it was amazing what we could find just by typing that in. So we're excited to keep looking and see what else we can find for Princess of Power. So, but we definitely want to be able to share with you guys because we know like, it's almost like, well, what else were they going to do? And we have it in front of us now, what was planned. And I mean, it's sad, we found the memo of when She-Ra was dropped. Like, it's like, here's the memo out to the team. That
August 26, 1986 is when She-Ra was officially done.
Yeah. So it's, you know, it's great that we were able to find Princess. It's very satisfying reading through it. You know, they talk about thank you to the team. It's a very nice memo that went out to everyone. So.
But we did find, like, in a lot of their brainstorm notes, they were looking to do characters from the show. So they had written down potentially even Seahawk and Madame Raz and all that for the line. It's just it never really made it to fruition.
They would keep mentioning them over and over in brainstorm, so I think the designers definitely wanted to do them. So, but yeah, that's what we found. We'll have images, these images on the slides we'll have in the booth, so you guys can come by and take a closer look at them. And then if you guys have any questions, we'd be more than happy to answer what we can. I just know we don't have any answers about Masters Universe Classics. I'm very sorry. We asked for information. The only information we were given was to please post to the Mattel Collector Facebook page or wait for an announcement closer to Comic-Con. So I wish we could help with answers for stuff, but we just don't have that knowledge with us.
And then at the booth, and I can flip to them, there's like 200 something images. We have artwork from Errol McCarthy of the Masters of the Universe stuff. So, yeah, so you get, and there's some surprise stuff too in there, so that'll be at the booth that you can flip through.
Yeah, it's a great thing to just sit and look through. So we have
There's a ton of those.
yeah, there's what, like 200?
Yeah, there's like 200, and there's some stuff that no one's ever seen before for toys that they never made.
You can just keep doing this.
We still have plenty of time, so
Yeah, so
go
if you
for
guys
it.
have questions, we'll flip through this while
And again, we'll have the PDFs for this kind of stuff all up on humor.org too, so you guys will be able to view it at your leisure afterwards too.
So officially, there's no information on Masters of the Universe Classics, but unofficially, don't you think that Snake Mountain set we saw last year looked really cool?
Yes. I am totally on board with saying that, but we have no control over that. But we love. I've seen the Snake Mountain sitting at Mattel. It's beautiful. I want one too. So.
How big is it? You think it is?
We only saw the sample that was at Comic-Con. That's not sitting there, so I never saw the revised size. But it's still pretty. It was still pretty big.
Oh, so you're saying there's a revised size?
Well, they're working on, like they said, they're working on a shorter version. So just because they had to bring it in a little bit, so it's a smaller one.
Okay. Will it come with the figure? Thank you, guys. Thank you for coming.
Other questions? Come on down. Everyone's mesmerized by the McCarthy.
Yeah, the art is awesome. I just wanted to say thank you.
Oh,
Because how many times we come to PowerCon and we go here to see fellow fans and hang out and laugh, and I think we, go into filmation panels and stuff, we get the same information, we get to relive it, to actually come in and see so much new stuff for 1986, 1987, can't thank you enough.
Oh, you're very welcome. I mean, we're fans too, so we decided to at least have to share this. So we made sure we went through all the proper channels, got all the signatures, so we could show all this stuff, because we know Mattel is very protective, and rightfully so, their IP and stuff like that, but we want to be able to share this with you guys, because it's one of those things, like, it's so exciting to learn about what could have been, or, the lines that we loved when we were kids.
It said that Light Hope was female and you revealed her face, but it was really kind of hard to see. Is there an image of her face in there?
There is. If you come to the booth and look, I think you can see a look closer. It's really hard to see because it had like a flower almost over it, so you're looking through 2 layers of plastic to see it. But it was molded to be a female
And it
face.
would light up from the inside
Yes,
to
so it's like
reveal
a one-color sculpted face that would light up from the inside.
Very cool. Very cool.
And it was much like Snake Mountain. It was just you. It was a voice changer that you're talking through to be like.
So when does that come out?
More questions? Come on.
Well, actually, I just want to jump off what he just said. So, I guess I'll use the Star Sisters as just the easiest example, but if you guys do come across, this is obviously crystal ball stuff, but if you come across any prototypes of figures that haven't been out and the interest is there, would just at least pass along to Mattel that even in a vintage capacity, we would like to maybe see those maybe offered in some way?
Yeah, I mean, we'll go back and tell everyone, hey, people really want the Star Sisters done today, but look like the vintage toys. We will try. I can't promise anything.
Like the commemorative line.
Yeah, but we would love to see them too. I want to add them to my She-Ra collection as well, I don't get to take these ones home. They're going to stay with Mattel. So we would definitely, if you guys come by, talk to us and let us know, we'll go back and say, hey, can we look into redoing them for today?
And now we have packaging artwork, so we can potentially.
We have the samples for us, we have references to that too.
Now, I'll leave you with this. What was your biggest challenge with the Comic-Con exclusive?
I think the biggest challenge, luckily the team was like, do what you want, so we did. The biggest challenge was when we sent the initial sculpt to Asia. It took 3 weeks to get it back to the sculpt that we wanted. So they completely re-engineered the doll, changed all the sculpting on her. We were not happy with how it looks. It was a long process of emails every day and conference calls to get them to go back to the body that we wanted. So it met the expectations that we had, because we have one chance to get it right for you guys, and I want to make sure it was the best She-Ra I could possibly deliver, because it's my ass on the line if it doesn't look good, because I'm the one who designed it. So we worked really hard to make sure that she lived up to the expectations for She-Ra, Princess of Power, making sure she looked like the most powerful woman in the universe.
It was really labor of love. We did this on top of our day job, so this was like on top of. I was doing illustrations at that point. I had 200 illustrations to get done for Monster High, and I was actually drawing 60 of them. So it was when I have time to do this, finding time to do this so that we could get it right.
But the passion exists within the walls of Mattel for Masters of the Universe and Princess of Power. Like, people were so excited to get to be a part of it, to work on it. That's why there's a huge thank you list in the back, because those people put in extra time and effort to be able to make this thing come to life. I think a lot of times we don't realize how many people it takes to make a toy at Mattel. It is a lot. We have soft goods people and hair people and face paints and model makers and all these people that make it so that we can make these toys come to life for you guys, and all of our Asia counterparts too. So there's people on the plant sewing these outfits and hand putting the dolls together. It's not quite as automated as what people think. We do have some automation, but there's still a lot of people putting these things together. So when you make a comment, you have to remember you're telling someone that they're not doing their job right. You want to fix it. So.
Fun story, the face painter who painted the prototype for She-Ra, this doll actually painted the original She-Ra face.
Yeah, she's been in Mattel long enough that she painted the original.
So it's like, I was like, oh, can you paint this? It's for She-Ra. She's like, oh, I painted the original.
Her name's on the package, A-Fong. She's super talented. I mean, she did a lot of the, if you guys are familiar with Monster High, she did a lot of the Monster High faces too for the initial concept. So she was super, so she knew what she already needed to look like. So it was amazing.
Nice longevity in this industry.
Yeah, yeah.
Other questions?
Was there ever any consideration to make this ultimate She-Ra in the classic scale with interchangeable outfits to get all the different designs of She-Ra, or was it always destined to be larger doll scale?
She was always destined to be a larger doll scale from when we said, because they saw the fans were asking for sort of a 12-inch Barbie She-Ra, so we were trying to accommodate that ask. We did feel, as much as we love Barbie, we both worked on her, we wanted She-Ra to have her own body, and that's why we pushed to get an all-new sculpt, and they were on board with it, so we were able to get that. I mean, we would love to, as we said before, continue making more, do additional characters, go into the Masters characters too, and do an awesome He-Man buffed out sculpt. So if you guys show interest in this, please talk about it. Please say positive things about it. You can nitpick it, it's fine. I know you're gonna find things wrong with it. Totally cool, because that will help us improve things too. You know, just be nice about it. We're people too. But we want to see this come to life and do more characters. I mean, I want to do all of the Prince of Power characters and go into the He-Man characters and see all the things we get made at this scale.
So this item, this will be the only She-Ra or Master of the Universe themed exclusive item at Comic-Con this year. Officially,
Yes.
or unofficially, you can, you know, move your head or something.
This is the only item that is related to He-Man, Masters of the Universe, Prince of Power that we offer at Comic-Con.
The only one.
The only one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to clarify.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Other questions? Come on down.
So there's two different sorts of protection in this package.
Yeah.
So I know that it's not in the same style as like the vintage action figure sword protection. Was there any reason behind that, or just I want to design another sword?
But our sculptor, he is an avid swordsman. He like collects swords and loves swords. He doesn't like She-Ra's sword or He-Man's sword because it doesn't look like a real sword. You can't. This doesn't function as a real sword. That made him very angry. So, so what I did, I said, okay, well, let's look at all the He-Man swords that we have, because She-Ra's is a thinner version of He-Man. So we looked at the Sideshow Collectibles one that they're doing, all the ones from the comic, and we just pulled over and said, okay, you can design it, but it's got to feel like these ones. And we'll do that for She-Ra for her original outfit, because hopefully if we continue the line, we'll do a She-Ra in her original outfit with the original sword from the toy. So he took that design, so it has like the horns on the side, and he put some detailing from swords that typically have the detailing, and placed the gem in there and made sure it looked like it could fit into the He-Man world. It was really inspired sort of amalgamation of He-Man swords.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm looking at this art, it's amazing. What are the chances of getting like a book or something printed out of
I mean,
this?
I just have a PDF of it, that's all I have.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Dark Horse?
Yeah, I mean, Dark Horse. Like, maybe they'll do another book with, it's a high res PDF, but I don't know where the original stuff is.
Oh, okay, all right. Just wanted, thanks.
You can sell the PDF on Kindle.
It's okay, we'll post it for free, you guys can have it.
Actually, the artist who did this, Errol McCarthy, is a guest here at PowerPoint, so you can go to his table and ask him about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's beautiful stuff. We had fun looking through all of this. It's just.
At some point it gets to color too. I don't know if the colors are good.
No, no, no. We're going through this as well.
Other questions? You guys are you open to also answering Monster High questions? Are there Monster High fans?
If the feedback is there on the She-Ra prototype, how deep would you like to go into this line?
Make them all.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, Darren and I put together a 5-year plan of our dream. We could do a 6-year, sorry, a subscription plan that would offer all of the Prince of the Power characters. So we could get them done in 6 years. It'd be about 4 figures a year with a couple extra for like Comic-Con and stuff like that. But we could get through all of the Prince of the Power characters. So, including a couple that you just heard about today. We started incorporating this because we're hoping we can find designs and then make an actual toy of them as well. So. But again, that's all preliminary, nothing set in stone. We have no approval to do any more dolls. This is the only one right now, so if you guys want more, show support and we'll get you more.
Other questions? Somebody's got.
This is my little Monster High fan. She's a bit shy.
That's okay.
Go ahead and ask him what you want. No?
Aw, come on.
She wants to know if you guys are ever gonna do the parents of the dolls from Monster High.
Well, for our Comic-Con exclusive this year, we have Rebecca and Hezekiah. So he's the first family member that we're a parent that we're doing. So it's very exciting. So hopefully it'll start a trend of additional parents as well. So if you guys like him, say so, and we can make more parents.
Okay?
Yeah, and just so you know, I found out after designing the package that it actually has to be hand done. Like, because it's so large, someone has to hand lay down all of the panels of the package and put them down on the game board. And I was like, oh, I'm really sorry. Thank you so much for doing it.
Other questions? So what's it? Oh, okay. So that's from the Strobo wave that never came out. The parts reused characters. Yeah. This was that was from the '88 wave that was never released.
Is there anything you guys can say about the San Diego DC Superhero Girls Katana? Is that going to be like a standard?
Confirm that it's her since it was leaked by WB. I will say that she looks amazing. I've seen her. She looks awesome. She is done like high end with premium material. She comes with extra pieces that, should they do a katana later, she might come with. Obviously, she has to be the Comic-Con exclusive, but I think you guys are gonna love her when you see her. She should be announced soon, yeah. Yeah.
Other questions? Questions?
There are additional reveals coming to Maddie. We saw a whole schedule, so there should be more this week. So every day they're supposed to be unveiling something. So just keep checking back for their additional lines and their exclusives.
What's it like working at Mattel?
It's fun. I mean, you realize you're working for a large corporation, so you have to take some things into account. You just can't do whatever you want. So as much as we'd like to just do a lot of this stuff, there's numbers, they have a huge pool of people that they have to employ, so we have to be strategic about stuff. So it is a lot of like showing why and how we can do this. So the more you guys are supportive of stuff, the more we can say people love this and they want it. I've been telling some people it's hard when things get so negative on the board because a lot of times our manager reads it and say, these people don't want this line anymore, let's just get rid of it. So I understand, it's like you're so passionate, because I'm that way too, you're so passionate that you're getting angry that you're not getting the stuff that you want, but we gotta remember to keep a little bit of a positive turn, so it doesn't look like you don't want anything anymore, you just want things to continue because you want these things like we do, and the designers want to keep making them, so feel free to criticize, but also put, I'm doing this because I love it, and I want to keep buying Masters of the Universe. So that's the key word, is I want to keep buying Masters of the Universe. That way we can go back to our upper management and be like, yes, they still want it. There's things that and there's always things we can work on, and that's what's so great about it now, is we have instant feedback when you guys get stuff about, oh, this is wrong, or we can fix it as quick as we can. Now, production, it's hard to stop things and fix right away, but where we can, we try to fix things as early as possible.
I just wanted to let you guys know, a telex is a network of teleprinters that was used to send text-based messages via these teleconnected printers on paper. So before you could send a text message on your smartphone, you used a printer.
Nice. Thank you.
So
Now we know. And knowing is half enough. That's another you guys said you were fans as kids. So what was it about Masters of the Universe and Princess of Power that sort of resonated with you and made you love it?
I think the biggest thing is they were twins and we were twins, so there's not a lot of twin characters out there. So that was nice. So we played with King Man and Sheer. We had Crystal Castle across from the Castleberry Skull and then Snake Mountain around the corner, so it was always playing with all of them together. And I mean, we came in around when She-Ra came out and He-Man had been out for a while, so we always just assumed like Secret Sword is a show of them together a lot of the time, so we were playing with them together most of the time.
I remember playing with Swift Twin, and I was 4 at the time that She-Ra came out, so my hands couldn't get the saddle on and off. I remember taking it to my parents, like, can you put the saddle on? Can you take the saddle off? Like every 5 minutes.
Other questions, anybody?
Yeah, I mean, we're totally collectors too. In college, we went through the whole, like, we need all of the She-Ra stuff, so we got all of it. We have a Spinnerella, which is amazing. You know, so we're totally there too. We love all, so finding this stuff out and getting to see it, we were like, you know, it is really holy grail stuff when you are a lover of toys and lovers of Masters and Prince of the Power, so. And thankfully, we're able to share it all with you guys, so I'm digging through this stuff.
Are you going to continue searching through the Mattel archives to try to find more
Oh
materials?
yes, yes.
Awesome.
We're hoping that we can find more and share with you guys too, so. I started Mattel first, and then he came in a couple of years later. For a while, we were together in packaging. We were on a brand called Mycene, and we did the packaging together. And then he sort of went to...
I went to Barbie and worked on the entertainment stuff. So all the movies that came out, Diamond Castle, Thumbelina, I worked on all the packaging for that.
And I started working at Monster High, and then we've always kind of worked together. I mean, we're twins, we live in the same building, not the same apartment, we carpool together to work, we work at the same place, so it's been super fun to be able to work on this because we can basically make decisions for each other because we know, like, yeah, that'll be fine, Garrett will be fine with that, or Darren will be fine with that. We can do the leeway stuff, you know, it's like, hey, I need some more money so we can get this on the doll, okay, I can take this out of the package. That makes it a little bit easier when we work with each other, so.
Can you guys explain the process, I guess, from early, you know, design phase, prototyping, the involvement as much as you can of corporate, you know, like you say, they cost down the Willows playset, that kind of stuff, and then the education you guys both have to kind of lead you to the positions you're in.
Oh, sure. Are you referring specifically to like the 80s stuff or in general?
No, just kind of toy design in general.
So, I mean, typically it's like when you work on a line, they're established like a brand direction for the year and everyone knows what that is. And they have a line list and you're filling slots for certain things. You have certain price points that you have to hit and you're working on what will fit into those slots. So the designers will work on concepts for that and they present it out to the team. Thank you. They present it out to the team and everyone will have to sign off on it. So there's a lot of approvals. Design has to approve it, marketing has to approve it. And then you have to engineering has to say, yes, we can actually make that toy, you know, if it's complicated. And then from there, once the initial concept is approved, we start prototyping. So a lot of nowadays with digital sculpting, it makes it fairly easy to prototype. It's still expensive and it's not as fast as you hope it is, but it is much faster than having to wait for somebody to hand sculpt something to take a look at it. We can do outfits pretty quickly. She-Ra went pretty fast. I gave my reference to Adam for sculpting, and I think within 2 weeks I had to sculpt to look at digitally on my computer. I could spin it around as a PDF, zoom in, see what everything was, look at all the structure and stuff like that. So that makes looking at stuff easy. I still like to look at 3D stuff because no matter how detailed the 2D is, it can always change once you get it in your hands in 3D. So we do like to print out still as designers and take a look at what it is that is being made. Then from there in a typical line, there's cost reductions because we over-design sometimes because we're trying to get as much as we can in. And so we'll look at what paint-offs you can reduce or what fabric you can switch something to, those type of things to get the item to cost to meet what we need to. And then from there, once we have it all buttoned up and everyone says, yes, this is the cost, this is what it should look like, we're good to go for production, and Asia starts working on building tools, sending us samples to review, and all that stuff.
What is the Eldor card back here? The mini comic that's coming with the She-Ra exclusive, if more characters come out in the line, will they all come with mini comics?
That's
and
the
will,
idea. Yeah.
And will they be new stories or adaptations of Filmation stories or other mini comics?
Well, I mean, we haven't really thought that far ahead just yet, but I mean, you guys can certainly voice what you like on the boards, and we will take a look at that. I think for time constraints and to the ease of approval, we went with a story that existed because we wouldn't have to create all new art and figure everything out, and so we had some reference to do with She-Ra. Plus, her story is pretty well known, so to tell her origin story, we're not going to change a whole lot, and so we just went with that. But yeah, the artist's name is Kelly Riley, and she did a beautiful job. She did most of the artwork for the package, including the comic. The only thing she didn't do is the illustration on the back panel. That was done by a guy named Darko Dvorak.
Are there any other questions to close things off? Here, anybody else? All right. Well, thank you very much, guys.
We're getting all this out at the booth. Just give us a couple minutes to get over there, and you guys can come take a look at all this. Thank you.